Good morning, students of class 10. Today we will continue Nelson Mandela in English. A long walk to freedom. So now here I have written the points. Today we will discuss about that. In our previous class we were talking about Nelson Mandela. He said that he was not born with a hunger to be free. He was born free. Yes, that was right. Whatever he said was right. Everyone is born free. Free in every way. When we are young, we can run around the field. We can go and have a swim in the pond or in the river. Run around in the village or in the streets. He also says the same thing. I was not born with a hunger to be free, but I was born free. Nelson Mandela said this. Free in every way. When he was young, free to run in the field, around, and run around, as long as I obeyed my father. When you are young, as long as you obey your parents, and follow the custom of your tribe or your society, you are free to move around, run around, play around when you are young. He said this. Number 2, when he began to learn that, as he grew old, he began to learn that his boyhood freedom, when he was very young, his freedom was an illusion. It was an illusion. He remembers that, oh, those freedoms were just an illusion. It is not the real freedom. He realized as a young man, when he grew, as a young man, he realized that his freedom had already been taken. He was under the influence of the British government. His freedom had already been taken away. He began to hunger for it. Now he wanted that freedom. Freedom to speak. Freedom to follow. Freedom to speak out, express. It was taken away. Their society was separated from the whites. There was a separation. There was an oppression. He began to understand all these things. He began to hunger for that freedom. At first, when he was a young man, before all, he was a matured man. At first, as a student, he wanted freedom only for himself. As long as you do not understand fully, we want freedom for ourselves only. To stay out at night when he was in school, when he was in college. He wanted to stay out at night. He thought that was a freedom. He wanted to read whatever it pleased him. Read whatever pleased him. He thought that was a freedom. To run around, to walk around at night when he was in a college, a young man. And he thought that was a freedom. But later on he realized that it is not the real freedom. Later, as a young man, he longed for the basic and honorable freedom of earning his keep after finishing his college. Now he thought that I must have a family, I must marry, I must earn the money for my family. He thought that was the freedom. But again, that was just an illusion. Whatever we think when we are young, whatever we think and think that it is our freedom, but it was an illusion, because South Africa was under some other rulers. They were under white-skinned people. So having a family and marrying and earning his keep, the freedom not to be obstructed, disturbed, the freedom not to be obstructed in a lawful life, In a lawful life, all these things are basic things. We do these things. When we are young, we run around, we listen to our parents, we obey our parents, our custom, tradition we follow. And when we grow a little older in the school, we think that staying out at night, walk around, that was our freedom, we thought. And when you grow a little older than that, when you finish your colleges, we think that now we must have a family, we must marry and all. This is a freedom we think, and not to be obstructed in a lawful life. A lawful life. In a lawful life, all these things, we do these things. These are various stages of our life. But when the country is under some other rulers, from some other colonizers, that means these things does not have much meaning, because slowly he saw that not only he but his citizens were also not free, his brothers and sisters were also not free. He understood now our country is under somebody else, some other Europeans. We are not free. We are not free to express our thoughts, not free to speak. Then he looked around and saw that not only I, but other people are also not free. It was not only his freedom was taken, but the freedom of everyone was also taken. Now he realized and understood, and he hungered for it. He longed for that freedom, that our country should be free from these Europeans. We cannot do everything on our own. We cannot speak out. We cannot have our own political parties. Everything is being separated. There was a separate school for the dark-skinned people, separate school for the whites. Even the markets were separated. Even traveling has to be done separated. They were not allowed to mix up. So now he understood everything. Their freedom has already been taken. And not only his, all the citizens were under some other white-skinned people. Now they are not free, he understood. And we'll continue this in our next class. So that's all for today. Keep on studying at home. Thank you for watching the video. Thank you very much.